Now that we have learned quite a lot about adjective clauses and reductions, I would like to give you a summary of the lesson before we do some practice. This is your class information. I am Taryn, your instructor. You are taking an online exam preparation course for the CPE exam by Westcliff University. The section in focus is English structure and written expression. Wrap up. I will give you 30 seconds to note down what you can remember or what you think you have learned in the lesson. Let's start. Your time is up. Now compare your notes with my notes. We use adjective clauses to modify nouns and put them after the nouns that they modify. An adjective clause is made of a relative pronoun and a clause. Who, which, and that are used to replace the subjects, while whom, which, and that for the objects. With humans, we can use who, whom, and that. With others, we can use which and that. You can see that everywhere, which means that can be used to replace almost everything. However, think about the note with that. I will ask you that later. When you see this, you should commit them into your memory because they are very important and memorable. Very short. Object relative pronouns are optional, and subject relative pronouns are compulsory. This means you cannot omit the subject relative pronouns. Can you find the reason? You have 5 seconds to think about this. You must have had a correct answer. Is that because if we omit the subject's relative pronoun, our sentence will have 2 main verbs with only 1 subject and no conjunction to connect the verbs, and that is an error in grammar. However, with objects' relative pronouns, you can omit the relative pronoun because your sentence is still fine with 1 subject, 1 verb, 2 subjects, 2 verbs. There are 2 kinds of adjective clauses. What are they? Did you write down defining and non-defining? Very good. For defining clauses, we use them when they are necessary because the nouns that we modify are unclear or indefinite. We don't use any commas in this clause. And the object's relative pronouns are optional. In non-defining clauses, which is the opposite, they are quite unnecessary because what we modify are clear. And we always have to use the comma. And because of this, we don't use that. Object's relative pronoun in a non-defining clause is compulsory. And this is the answer to my previous question. That can be everywhere, but not with the comma. Let's talk about reductions. How many ways are there to reduce an adjective clause into an adjective phrase? 3 ways, very good. In the first way or the first case, you have an active action. You will use present participle and something afterward. With passive, we use past participle. If we have to be preposition and an object, we will omit to be. Of course, the relative pronouns are omitted, right? Then we'll have only preposition and object left. No relative pronouns are used in reductions. There are quite many to remember today. So how should we do? What should we do to commit them into memory forever? You may have a lot of answers, but keep this in your mind. Make a lot of sentences with these structures. Remember that this is one of the most helpful ways. And do not try to learn the structures by heart. The structures or the syntaxes by heart. That is not a good way. Please make a lot of sentences, and you can also improve your vocabulary while making sentences. Now this is time for practice. This is a table with 2 examples. Your job is to complete the table, underline the adjective clauses and reductions. Let me explain the examples here. There are 4 columns in this table, which are about the main ideas of today's lesson. We learned adjective clauses, and we should know exactly which relative pronoun to use and the position of the pronoun. Then we learned reduction, and please think about active and passive. I mean the voices. Also, when we have a preposition, we don't have active or passive, we just have a prepositional phrase in the reduction. In example 1, the lady who is working at Macy's is my aunt. Please also consider the rhythm when you say this sentence. If you say the lady who is working at Macy's is my aunt, it is hard to understand your saying. Thanks to grammar or thanks to the grammatical knowledge about adjective clause, we know how to pause when and when to pause. The lady who is working at Macy's is my aunt. This sounds more cohesive. The relative pronoun here is who, and it replaces the subject. The reduction of this sentence should be the lady working at Macy's is my aunt. Once again, please consider the rhythming. Active voice is used in this sentence. Look at example 2. I know the man whom the police released. The police released the man, so whom replaces the object. When we have an object, there is no reduction and voices available. Now this is your turn. I took out some parts in this table. Your job is to fill in all of the blanks. Remember, in order to do this correctly, you need to put your answers into connections with the others which are given in the table. For example, look at number 3. The sentences with an adjective clause was taken away, but we have which and subject. You know that you will have to use which. And then you look at reduction, you know what is the subject of your sentence. I think you are very smart and you can do this. Also, try not to do this for more than 3 minutes. Now you should move to the next 2 questions. And do not take too much time for this. Do not forget to underline the adjective clauses and reductions. Now, questions 7 and 8. You can slower this video by pausing it and get back to it when you are done. But remember, don't be too long. You're almost done. These are the last two. Okay, congratulations, you're finished. Check your answers, but this is not enough. You should note the errors down and fix them. Here are the keys, and also answer these questions. Could you fill in all of the cells? What were your difficulties? Have you noted down the errors? How many correct answers did you give? Ta-da! Good job! We're done. These are the references that I used in this lesson. They are books, reliable books for grammar study, and I would like you to refer to them and have more study about not only this grammar point but also the others that we will learn in the future. They are shared in our Google Drive. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your attendance. If you have any questions, please ask me. I am always available at the email address posted on in this video. Thank you again, and goodbye.